So, Marvel, the galaxy dies. But Marvel Comics, true to form, no one remains dead. Splash down. Yeah. Hey, Sankey, you dead? Oh, my head means obviously we're still. The pain in my head obviously means we're still alive. Did the others survive? No, we got our main players, our pointy with one arm now, and we've got them searching around the place. We've got a few complaints, thing. I'm not going to read all the bits and bobs, but we have a slight disagreement with the other member of our party. The Infinity Horn exists. All you have to do is look for it. And so, for yesterday's sins live forever within one's heart, and the damned always walk alone. Rest in peace, always. Yeah. Okay, so we our disagreement sort of blossomed a little bit. We've got a breakdown of the actual story, the interviews from the author. Who wrote it? James P. Look Beyond Metamorphosis Odyssey with author artist James P. Starlin. I must check my This is the second bit I was talking about, the beyond the stuff. You see, your mystical sword, your magicianish character, in the corner, your warrior thing, your pussycat aliens. Good stuff, bloke. Jim Starlin poses as Varth as part of the photo references. So we're moving into the myth, the last centaur. Nice fantasy drawings. Small thing and the legend. And we've got Children of the Stars, people in the Demon Lords, again, science fantasy, whatnot. Good black and white drawn. Okay. Weird World, the Dragon Master of Clan. Okay, so in Weird World we have the Crooked Spines, the Crystal Caverns, the Dark Orc. Again, there's a good little fantasy map that not many people have probably seen. The Land of the Dead, Monster Island, the Sea of Eternity. You can turn it into a decent little a game site, I suppose. The game God's Play. You've got an idea there. Looks like elf, dwarf, soul stealing, living in the tree type. Yeah, these are the ones that carry. These are the characters that carry on. I think behind these, the little, yep, your little pointy-eared fellows with Crystal Sleep and where's your dragon? No dragon. Yeah, okay. Tales of Torment, horror fantasy from the underground. Right. Okay. Yeah. 11 and yeah. I got me whip. I'm not going to. Okay. Not too sure. The colours are a bit garish to say the least. Oh, here's the pincher. Here's the pincher. Marriage Council Arena. Here we go. That explains it. Yeah, this is a nice style. This is a nice straightforward, and here's your angel and your mythical thing, and it's telling a story without dialogue. This is the sort of stuff I like to share with people, where the panel tells you know what's going on, and not a word is spoken. And the lines are all done in nice black and white, and there's each panel carries the story. See what do we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 11. Nine. So we've got about. I think it's a 9. I think it might be a 10-page, 12-page story. All told in fairly beautifully drawn. Fairly beautifully drawn lines, and that's pretty good. That's Marvel art. And then what do we got down the bottom? We've got beauty without the beloved is like a sword through the heart. Just dies off with loneliness, I suppose. Yes. Yeah, that's what I call a good. That's what I call a good story. All right. We're heading towards the 8-minute mark, so I'll be cutting us off for a minute, and then I'll look at the death of Captain Marvel. Right, I'm on the next issue. So we're Marvel Magazine, we're $2, we're December. We're not on the next issue, we're on an issue that's quite, oh no, the first one was June, so we have skipped it quite unless they had we're on the December issue. Whatever. So we've got the climax to the Metamorphosis story, Odyssey, and we're beginning Weird World. So, I like this. I used to have the science fiction book club. Again, being in Australia, I couldn't really take advantage of that type of thing, but they've had some really cool books. I got most of mine in the admittedly in second-hand bookshops, and I'd take old comics, and they'd have a 2-for-1, and I swapped my comics. And now some places where I used to swap used to give you money, but they changed that, and then it became a store credit. So I'd take the comics would be in the same thing as a second-hand bookshop, and they'd have a comic section, and I'd trundle in with my comics, and I'd swap my comics, and I'd get the store credit, and I'd go to the science fiction book section or something like that, and I'd have a look through there, and you could sort of re-spend. You could buy stuff with their money, basically, or buy stuff with the thing. You'd rarely, after a certain point, get money in your hand. But this is, I found this a perfectly good way of doing things for my thing. Of course, now you've got all your collectors that were smarter than the people that were buying the comics and turning them in at the time, and they're sitting back and they're laughing at people because they're pulling in 4-figure comics, 5-figure comics value, and you've paid 21 cents or something like that. As I said, my best ever buy was a market 1 cent a comic, and I got some greats, but not knowing, not being able to read the future or not knowing anything and that, they dwindled during the years. They were sold off or they were swapped off or whatever, like everybody else, and so I don't know what gems went in. If I was a collector, a proper collector who was collecting for cash, I'm not very good. I wouldn't be very good at that because I don't know the thing. But a friend of mine was always bought 2 comics. He bought a reader and he bought a collector, and of course he just read. One was put away in plastic on the offset that sooner or later somebody would pay a better price for it, and he'd make a bit of money on the side. But I just bought them for the love of reading them. Right, so we got a Dungeons and Dragons adventure. Well, sorry, it's a game advert. So again, it's Marvel Comics. It's a game advert. This is issue volume number 9. How is it in relation to the previous? This is issue what? What? Here's a bit of dating for us. Let's see. This is June 1981, volume 1, number 6. So okay, we're 3 issues. So it might be a monthly thing. So we're 3 issues in difference anyway. Stand back, only my magic can take it. Blah blah blah. What is the story giving us? This particular Metamorphosis Odyssey. After the galaxy dies, the last centaur, children of the stars, weird world, the Dragon Master of Clan, Tales of Torment, match and set, media view, blah blah. Yeah. All right. So there's your Dungeons and Dragons plug. There's your overview about your comic contents. Here's me metamorphosis. And we've got a synopsis. Let's see. For hundreds of thousands of years, the Zygotians have swept across the galaxy, conquering and destroying all the worlds in their path, enslaving the inhabitants. Before Osiris, world of scientific marvel and ancient grandeur, fell to the Zygotians, the Orosirians made a plan and chose one of their number, Akhenaton, to see it fulfilled. Akhenaton travelled the universe, sowing the seeds of the Zygotians' destruction, and after his world was destroyed, he reaped the fruits of his labours. Juliet was a young girl from another world annihilated by the Zygonians, world called Earth. Okay, guys, so we've had Earth destroyed. Zar, a man-monster from planet of cannibals, cursed with sensitivity and feeling. Whisper, chosen one of a race created by Akhenaton, rich with environmental harmony and wisdom. Reed Elf. To protect them, Akhenaton recruited Vanth, the cold man, wielder of the sword. Yeah, there's your MacGuffin. There's your mystical MacGuffin right there. Nice little blade. But probably one of these weapons that are totally silly, but really cool in fantasy games. Now on the planet Dream Center. Oh, it's a planet. Okay, now on the planet Dream Center, Akhenaton and Vanth make one last stand against the Zygonian forces deep below the planet's surface, their three companions prepare to sound the Infinity Horn, Osiris's legacy and mightiest weapon, which will save the galaxy from Zygonian enslavement by a blue. Okay, guys, to save the world, we're going to blow up to save the galaxy. We're going to blow it up. Ray team. Okay, where's the boom? Come on, there's got to be a boom kaboom there somewhere. Okay, there's a lost arm. Yeah, there they are. There are the three with the Infinity Horn. Right. Why haven't they blown that damn horn of yours? And so they blow it, and here we go. I've got to show you the end of the galaxy. Here we go. A brief moment, jolting moment, reality is irresistible. The second stretch perceptions to their fullest, for this is the end. Witness the death of the galaxy. Boom. Oh, what great stuff. Yeah, da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, da-da. Make mine marvel, as they used to say. The 15th level. The sole domain of a being an omnipotent force. The 13th and 14th levels. Okay. And we're in 8 minutes. Okay, we're getting into some magazines. This is more adult fantasy stuff. This one's Epic Illustrated. Of course, it's actually Marvel. Marvel magazine of adult fantasy, June 1981, $2, which is I'm on for various things. Let's see what this issue gives us. This one's a science fiction issue, and we've got Harlan Ellison and Harlan Ellison's Life Hutch. That's the story. Right, so we've got Excalibur opening April 10th. So what's the date on the I said 1981. We've got a game top secret. This is quite fun. When TSR, of course, at this particular point in time, Cheech and Chong, hey man, with the big drug bushy thing. I think that this was their attempt to do the French Metal Hurler in English. Yes, people. TDK, introducing TDK the Music Mirror. The artwork's cool. I mean, it's not a bad. You've got to admit, it's not a bad, piece of art. The style's fairly up to scratch and slightly different on your comic book. This is your Harlan Ellison one. What is it? We're a space cybertech link. Okay, so right, then we got another style. We got called Predator, mode of life that survives by consuming the substance of other animals, disposed of to exploit others. Warfare. Righto, so this will have a social commentary in it, maybe. What have we got? Whole planet's wealth is ours. Let's duck in and let's move the company in and take group and pillage the bloody environment for all you people that like to social warriors and whatnot. And we traded everything for a bit of water. Our aliens wandering off because that thing, and what you've got is a naked bloke and a thing of water, and our little friendly little desert creatures are wandering off, laughing as he goes to the bank. And then you've got your town. We got there, and Cheesecake claims office. Okay, I'll give it that. There you go. The alien dressed up in the stuff that he dressed up in the stuff that he's got has laid claim for 3/4 of the evening. The alien chomps off and the thing. He's tied his little turtle to the wagon. He's bought himself a wagon and all these claims and ripped the bloke off. And he comes back and there's the guy in the desert. And as they pass each other, and the guy said, that bastard knew it was an empty jug. Right, we're going to... yes. Alright, so that's an example of the subtle humour, or unsubtle humour. Sorry, I might be wrong. I mean, this one might be the Harlan Ellison one. But I really will have to look at the title. At the title thing, Life Hutch. Yeah. This would probably be the Harlan Ellison one. It seems more like Harlan Ellison. Yeah, well, we're going into the life hutch and we're being fought off by the robot. Metamorphosis. I enjoyed reading that. That's a really bizarre-ish sort of one. In fact, I think I had a graphic novel of this particular story, this particular character called The Price. Yeah, in thing, because it was an actual story, and I think I got a copy of them when they put it together into a graphic novel and released it as a graphic novel. Book reviews. There was see more Life Hutch. Yes, I'd like to live in here, but the robot has decided I'm not really They used to break up the story. They'd have the story in sections, and they put snippets in, inserts in the stuff. It wasn't thinking, what's this one? Prologue to a story. Again, that's a weird bunch of aliens. They've obviously descended from Groucho Marx, but won't say anything. Are we still going on Life Hutch? Yeah, I think we might be. Yep. Yeah, we're still going. We've still got more of Life Hutch. So, so New Life for Old Mills. I really don't know. Cults, whatever. Yeah, this was. I'd say this was the American Marvel Comics American bloody effort to do Metal Halot. Not that means it's bad. It just means that it misses the mark sometimes because they split it all up and think what was the cover price for that? $2. Oh yeah, I didn't mind paying $2 at the time. That was okay. Don't forget $2,000. That's the cover price too. So no, it's actually quite good. To be honest, I mean, it's a lot. Yeah, it's like Gremlins with the Chinese bloke sells off the mugway, and What has it got here? It's got a little side note that I find rather quaint. Quaint expression malarkey caught my eye. So if I can get it in focus, which I probably can't because of things, I'll get closer. And the premise sounds far-fetched at best, and just when you're ready to call it a bunch of malarkey, the antagonist, a police detective, shows up and does it for you. He acts as a Scully-style skeptic, while taking the action of the drop of yes. Yeah, it's an early one. It's quite fun. They're the type of ones I must admit I got a bit of a bias for. X-Files, Kolchak the Night Stalker. They're all in that type of vein. Right. Next one is again a spiritualist sort of one, Phantom Quest Core. This one we've got a redhead. The redhead, she's exorcist. This is a spirit busting company. More and again, it's about 4 episodes. It's not a big series, long running series, but it's got, here we go. The Phantom Quest Corps is a business that hires itself out to individuals and the government with promises of getting rid of any paranormal creatures. Right, shades of Ghostbusters. 4 episode IAV, original animated video or whatever. It's not a tale of horrors, but a hilarious go for broke screwball comedy. I'll agree definitely straight with that. The 2 main characters are Ayaki Kisaragi, a drunken shopaholic party girl and president of the Phantom Quest Corps. Yep. And Detective Kozo Carino, an oafish Fox Mulder type who often employs the Quest Corps to investigate the paranormal activity. Cool. And of course, it's got 2 characters that are basically in the Corps or out the Corps thing. It is good. It is fun. A ghost who hangs around the museum because basically he went out and he suffocated or something when he was in a thing. I must perfect collection with $15, all 4 episodes on 1 disc. That's true. Technology makes a fool out of the collector. Those who shelled out for expensive tapes and laser discs are most likely to have several small heart attacks at the sight of the price of the DVD. Phantom Quest Corps is one of the best Pioneer titles available. Perfect collection, lives up to its name. I'd agree with that. I wholeheartedly would. I've got a bits and pieces, and you can find that series relatively Wicked Duel. Honestly, I don't know much about it. Wicked City, of course, is the one I always get mixed up with Supernatural City, Demon City Shinjuku, but no, I think it is in fact the same one. I will have to have a look at that because I believe that might be an alternate title. I know it by. I think it's a double titled series because there's 2 that the ones. No, Demon City Shinjuku is the one with the swords and the man who summons a demon basically to and zones off Shinjuku, gives Shinjuku a whole bunch of supernatural earthquakes. Wicked City is the one where I think we could see this a bit more sexual. With the Guardians, you've got the Blackguard and the thing, and they're trying to keep the the whole thing is that they're trying to actually breed the hero, the male hero who's the fights the dark people, and the supernatural guard. She is part demon or something, and they're trying to breed them. It is one you need to put in your collection, but it's also one for the the more mature ones. Devilman, of course, comes and goes. So what would I suggest you out of that? All these games. Blue Submarine, I'd suggest. Blood of Our Last Vampire, again, that's not too bad. Don't know much about the game. Gundam Battle Assault, I think that these are basically on the Japanese games. Seaman, MechWorks, yes. Alright, well these magazines were a reasonable buy when they started. And then, of course, like anything else, because they were coming from internationally and all this thing, you had to really have a look at the cost of the thing, whether they were interesting enough to pay the cover price. Okay. We've got more. Revolutionary Girl Utena. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to think about that one. Steam Detectives is a goodie. I always enjoyed that one. X is one of my favourites. I think I might have mentioned that before. Kamui, that's the he starts rampaging. Kamui's the thing. I'll dig more out on that for you. Yeah, I was saying we all know MJ12. Well, maybe we don't. MJ12 was some Jessica. It's always the one, the agency behind, the secret organisation behind the UFO conspiracy. Brilliant and doddering genius is Arkham's premier scientist. His first and long time person, the only for a long time thing, Orichalcum. As such, he is courted by the MJ12 and Trident, though he didn't want either of them, and eventually managed to develop his own. MJ12 and Trident developed their own methods of creating Orichalcum. Trident Captain, nicknamed the Boomerang because he always returns from his mission. He wears a Trident-made machine suit. These emphasize power over agility. But his suit is a prototype and it's made out of Orichalcum. I think it's just a colonel. Fat Man and Little Boy. Fearsome members of the United States government's machiners platoon. Okay, well these blokes were in the sort of Noah's Ark stuff and the what unit, what organisation do you give them? They wear prototype Orichalcum armoured suits made by Trident. Still no match for you and Gene. In the movie, Fat Man is known as Colonel Fat Man. Yeah, that's it. And in his recast as his old commander from Project Cosmos. Yeah. So, in the original books, Fat Man wasn't the commanding officer of the used unit, but in the animation he was. Tia Flat, I think she might be the psychic. No, we've got a magic user. Mysterious background described by you as a badass witch. She can manipulate the time continuum and summon spirit boosts. Such ancient sorcery belies her true age. She must be at least 100 years old, since she's actually, well, that would be a spoiler, wouldn't it? Yeah. Yeah, this is your mystery lady, and she's possibly, even older than that. She's probably an Atlantean, or some other lost mythical race of the aliens or whatnot. Scarlet Witch sort of thing. Now, this might be the bloke I'm trying to figure out, and I think it is. Jean Jacques. Yeah, he's French. Yeah, I can't do that. So, the French-born Jean is a lycanthrope. Whenever he sees his own blood, he transforms into a werewolf, whose bloodlust isn't sated until he's killed everyone in sight. Jean finally learns to control his inner demon nature in the mountain pyramid. Yeah. His weapon is the French Spaz 12 combat shotgun, complete with a single-handed firing brace and pump. Okay, werewolf with a gun. Werewolf with a gun. He struck me as quite fun in the American version too. Let's all bounce around. Galaxy Express, good. Check it out. Strange for people. Train in space with no rails. Celestial Legend. I really must admit, I've got no idea about Celestial Legend, and I'd probably have to hunt up. I think half of these are, again, a lot of this stuff was more relevant in the 80s, I suppose, but some of it's drifted over. Blue Submarine number 6, another one I think you should check out. It's actually quite good. Where we have, if I remember, genetic engineering and, what is it? Yeah, well, it's in English, you can find it. Agent Iker, I don't know. Dragon Ball, I can bang my head against the wall, I do know that. And, unfortunately, again, a Dragon Ball fan, there's just so much of it, and a lot of it is, in fact, very repetitious. But, yeah, it's worth a watch. Ninja Girl, not sure. Vampire Hunter D is a goodie. I must admit, again, I'm a bit prejudiced. I lean towards the horror. So, Vampire Hunter D. Surprise, surprise on the reason for calling it D. Anything, a subtle hint, a subtle or unsubtle hint, that usually anything with D, Fred D or something like that is a Dracula reference. Or in this case, a Dampini reference. Right, Pet Shop Horrors, not a bad one. Magical Pets, Curses, what have I got here? Plot twists, reminiscent of the television show Friday the 13th series. Yeah, Friday the 13th series, for anybody who didn't know of it, was a antique shop that had supernaturally based material, and then the previous owner died, and the first thing these people did was sell off all of this stuff, and then they found, golly gosh, it's the stuff we sold off is cursed. So the series was basically us looking at the register, finding out what was sold off, and trying to get it back. Cool. Enjoyable. Okay, now I'm back. Now, during the last couple of minutes, I've been playing with the iPad, the pad I've got in my hand, and I've been taking photos and talking to it. and I've restarted the pad, and it wasn't on movie, it was on thing. So I'm not going to apologise for keep on constantly apologising for that, because that's the way it is. That's the way it is. I don't use $100 or hundreds of dollars worth of equipment. I don't bloody edit. Not that I can't edit. I have used professional editing pieces and stuff like that, but it's more I choose not to. I'm not going to put five or six or $700 or whatever the current thing is in constant editing beds. I might get around to paying $187 for a podcast system at some stage and hook it up to a $95 computer or something like that. But I'm not going to let that stop me. To be honest, if you want a professional, a truly professional editing person or something like that, look into it. But more power to you. What you're watching basically is a $75 machine, and a person who's filming this stuff for you, sometimes running his finger over the screen and cutting you off. So right. So America is the American version, of course, of the previous one we saw, the Anime UK. I'll find a date for you in a minute. I'm not sure who came out first. I'm really not sure who came out first. Whether it was the Americans or the British that got onto the big magazine place. Okay, as you can see, it's important. You saw where it came from. The wind, the air got rid of everything else, so it's all crinched up. But what you've got is again, Street Fighter. This one's different, and it's got Spriggan, which is another anime series which I like. Lost Universe I don't know much about, and Black Heaven I don't know much about, but they seem to run in martial arts game knockoffs. See, Virtual Fighter and Street Fighter Alpha, and a couple of anime series, Spriggan and Lost Universe. Now, Lost Universe, I've heard the title, but I think I might even have an episode or two, but I don't. I've got to, go into my into the pit, or else I'll come across it. Here's a couple though that for those that I think are really cool, or I think Sprite. Never bothered. I never bothered with Sprite. Shamanic Princess, I have a copy of, and what have we got there? That might be Sprite. Is that Sprite? Central Park Media, yeah. But the others were Central Park Media and Viz. Here we go. Viz Video is another one that was quite good for getting Japanese animation stuff, either in the original language with subtitles, or later, I think, some of them went into English, but most were NTSC. Well, there we go. See, style of my thing. I'm pointing the camera onto a pile of books, talking to you about the Viz Video releases. Okay, Ranma half, or 1-2, or however they pronounce it. Got it. It's really fun. If not being indelicate or trying to be smart ass or anything like that, the story basically is Ranma falls into a cursed pond, a cursed pool of water. Now, the pool of water there's a whole bunch of them, and they're all thinking, and they change. The character that falls into them change into something else. They get transformed into something else. Now, when Ranma will fall, when Ranma gets wet, he will change into a female. And it's usually designated by, he's got black hair here, and he's got red hair when he's a female. So that's your main character, Ranma. Your character next to him changes into a pig. I might, look, you'll see a finger, or you might see a finger on the right. So Ranma Saotome, male, female. Ryugu. Turns into a pig. Gets wet, turns into a pig. A cook. Trying to remember the thing of that. Bloke at the back turns into a duck. So, that's and it's funny. It's pretty cool. I'll try to dig out my tapes for you and try to get you some scenes, and just put them on as a fair use study clause thing. Okay, yeah, I'm near me 8 minutes again. See, to get into the real stuff, I've got to take a bit of time. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the rest of these pages. This one here, I've got Mai Zanakoku. Mai Zanakoku is more a romantic-ish sort of story. Video Girl Eye, or however you pronounce it. There's my fingers. This one here is computer generated girl. Comes out of the screen. This one here. Please Save My Earth. Got a copy. Can't remember much about it at the moment. This one here. What is this one? This one is I've got to have a look at this. Oh, this seems to be Vampire Night Hunters. Yeah. Okay, so Night Hunters I also have a copy of. It's a fighting one where the characters Dracula, female Dracula, werewolf, zombie, half vampire. Fun. Good one to watch. But again, here we go. Better picture. Key to Metal Idol. I can't remember. I've got a couple of episodes somewhere. You see, this one's subtitled. I've got a couple. I'll try to hunt it out. Key to Metal Idol. Of course, Fatal Fury's a movie. A lot of viz at this time and stuff like that, though, one of two things, though, either romantic comedy-ish sort of things, or fighting movies based on games. Oh, I'm still running, see? This is what I mean. I thought it turned off, but I'm only on 34 seconds, so I must have hit the button again. So, all right, got your Street Fighter, your martial arts anime, which is, of course, your thing. Have they got the same mistake in here? Zangief, Rose, Ryu, Shun, Ken. They don't seem to have the... Where are they? No. All right, Virtua Fighter, again, same idea, different group of fighters. What have we got? Lao Chan, Pai Chan, Jackie Bryant. Again, a series of of Ryogo Kenshin. This brings back a lot of things, because a lot of this I got, some samples in my film collection, which I'm like to dig out. So what are we? Black Heaven. Black Heaven is spotlight music. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not big on a lot of or not up on a lot of the singing. Save the Universe by Music anime. I could never get access, or more, to be honest, some of the ones I saw were just fairly bad as far as I was concerned, but they were an interesting piece of film. And some people found something in them that I didn't, so that's really good. Spriggan, got a copy of Spriggan, of course. Spriggan is the soldier one. Their slant is a lot of the Bible stories were fixed on, like the Ark, and that were actually advanced technology. And the Spriggan organization was set up to look, here it is, right up here. Look, I'm looking for a way to explain it. And here it is, right out in plain sight for you. Spriggan is a superheroic relic hunting in the world of espionage. So ancient artifacts, special powers, and two sides. There's a couple of little side panels here I'll use to get the thing. Here we go. Spriggan's a kind of sprite or fairy known from European folklore. Yep. They have several traits which match the Arcane Foundation's purposes. Right. Well, that's the place they can think safely. Replace inventory. All right. Well, I don't think that explains the it change themselves to the size of giants to replace human babies for real. I mean, that's the thing of Spriggan, yeah, but it's not the gist of the characters. The main character, one of the main characters is this bloke here. He actually has armor and a knife and whatnot, but it's made out of orichalcum. Now, orichalcum is a metal. It was a coppery sort of base metal that was supposed to exist in Atlantis. So of course it's cool stuff. Like, it's their version of adamantium or vibranium. So they've taken that as the guts. A lot of psychic energy, etc., etc. Now here's down the bottom underneath is another little black panel, and it's got the episodes, an episode guide. So these are basically what they're after. The Temple of Fire, the legendary mask. The legendary mask is oh, look, I'd have to look up the Temple of Fire and the legendary mask, but they're the artifacts they're going after. The legendary mask is continued, and that goes into Noah's Ark. Secret of Berserker, Foster No Return doesn't mean a lot. The Crystal Skull, of course. Map to the Dragon's Heart. Amanai ignores the plan. The Tower of Chaos, which, if I think correctly, it's the based on Tower of Babylon. Legend of the Beastman. Then it goes on. Legend of the Beastman continues into thing, and then this final program, the Holy Grail. Of course, you can't have you got to have a Holy Grail in there. Something. The Kingdom of Oblivion doesn't make a lot of thing at the moment. Descent of the Immortal Smugglers, Field Trip. Again, these are names of episodes. Don't make a lot of sense without watching some of it. Planet of Ghosts, Legends of the Beastmen 2. Mature Artificial Evolution Arc. Oh, okay. Again, genetic engineering. The Ark is meant to genetically engineer, or when they encounter the Ark is like the TARDIS. Would be the easiest way to explain it. Interdimensional thing and stuff like that. With the answering the question of how did they fit so many animals in so small a boat. The Ark continued, the Philosopher's Stone, Mountain Pyramid, Map to the Dragon's Heart finale, and Return to Temple of Fire. So it does a circle of stories that bring you back to the Circle of Fire, the Temple of Fire, which I think is something nasty and nearly blows up the thing. Here it is. Here's Orichalcum. Now, as I was trying to say, let's see how close I was to the actual. Right, here's Spriggan and here's Orichalcum. This is the stuff they're using, and let's see how it stands up to my explanation of the metal. Sometimes referred to as Omnichalcum, special metal, and to have been developed by the Society of Atlantis, purported to be lighter than aluminium. Its specific gravity is even less than that of gold. Okay, will glow at night with the sunlight absorbed during the day. It is stronger than platinum and never rusts. According to Spriggan, Orichalcum hardens as pressure on it increases, but Arkham R&D's Professor Mayswell has refined it. His version stays fixed at a level of hardness several times higher than the Mohs scale, which, to be honest, I don't know what the Mohs scale is. It's a metal rating thing, I think. I don't know. I'm not a metallurgist. Even tougher than the meta ceramic. Japanese legend describes an identical metal called Hirakani, something like that. Never rusting metal, which, if forged into a sword, could easily cut through stone. Here we go, adamantium and vibranium. So I don't think I was that far off the mark, in all fairness. Lost Universe. Now, this is the one I'm not sure on. Oh, Space Opera goes slapstick. Okay, this should be amusing. It's drawn similar to Gunsmith Cats, actually, from the look of the character design. Who have we got? In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't mine the same. Rail Claymore. Yeah, I got a feeling that they're using the same, Gunsmith Cats in Space sort of drawing technique and that, but we'll take a look. And Brain. A recurring villain, Brain is trying to capture or destroy the Swordbreaker. Prefers his use his mind and brute strength. Alright, so, there we go, the Swordbreaker. What's the Swordbreaker? The Swordbreaker is a starship. Yeah. The elegantly designed Stormbreaker is also powered by psi energy. The starship is capable of tremendous laws of physics breaking feats because it is in fact a lost ship. Alright, well what we got is Blake 7 for people that think they're the Liberator. Would probably be an Americanish or a British thing. Kane's the smooth-talking contact in the Universal Force. Rail makes up for the US lack of personnel by outsourcing jobs to Kane. He also runs a Pretty Girls video service on the side. All right, yeah, there it is. There it is, the Pretty Girls video service. This is why everyone holds out there and says, enemy people. Alicia, not Richard, Swordbreaker before she died, yeah. And of course, this stuff is just great for, transferring across. So that's conventions. Tenchi Moyo 3, Earth Girl Arjuna. Again, these are videos. Let's see, TV Girl, Earth Girl Arjuna. I have, on a video, Danshi OG. Had a little bit on that. Again, the robot did, part of the giant robot phase. Grappler Becky, a sports boxer. Right, pages don't mean a lot to people except fans. Classic fight, legendary weapons, Street Fighters, yeah. Shadow skill. These are all just my things, but anyway, some more Spriggan. Evil forces, yes, of course. Yeah, here's a character thing on Spriggan for you. That your animation. Here's your character they call the Spriggan. The U anime. Japanese American U was conditioned in a bizarre, a human killing machine at the young boy aged by US government's Project Cosmos. Number 43 rebelled against these masters. See, now this is your straight super soldier stuff, which is really, really good when they do it, properly. Blacklisted by every government on Earth. Use a deadly warrior, never ever concerned about devolving back into the berserk killer he was. His school life is the psychological grounding he needs to feel human. So there's your super soldier looking for humanity. Use favourite weapons are his Alaric combat knife, a Zigzag P2, whatever, the gun freaks, Heckler and Koch. So he's just your US tie-in Japanese American super soldier, or one of them. That gave his thing to flick. Alright, we've got Aburo. Now, what have we got there? The most powerful Spriggan at all. The world's greatest chi martial artist, able to manipulate the universal life force to attack his opponent's internal organs, to render himself weightless, and to perform many other feats. His first appears in Volume 4, Crystal Skull, under the code name of Mirage. At that time, Aburo seemed to be an agent of the neo-Nazis, but was actually working undercover. He does actually turn code in Volume 10, The Philosopher's Stone. Okay. He joins Trident and nearly kills Jean in battle. Alright, these are your other super soul. You just, the easiest way to picture most of these characters is in terms of the American Super Soldier magazine things. They're the equivalent with the equivalents with the Japanese culture's influence and storytelling, and they give a lot of them give really, really good stories. People just, yeah, it's a cartoon. Okay, Bo Branch. I think this might be the werewolf. Sorry. What do we got? Neo-Nazi Lieutenant Ubermesh, super agent. There we go, you super soldier. Unhealthily enamored of his own buff body, his awesome muscles have been artificially hyper-developed through neo-steroids. He's a formidable fighter and knows such techniques as a ninja art of multiple selves. Once the neo-Nazis are destroyed by the Spriggans, he joins Trident and trying to get close to extract his revenge. Okay, where's the werewolf? I know for a fact there's a werewolf in there. Right, there's your Professor Maisel. Mazel. What is he? Is he your MI5 agent, your MI6 agent, your MJ? Oh, MJ12. Oh, cool. Okay. No, he's sort of. We all know MJ12. Yeah, I was saying we all know MJ12. Well, maybe we don't. MJ12 was some majestic. It's always the agency behind the secret organization behind the UFO conspiracy. Brilliant and doddering genius is Arkham's premier scientist. His first and long time person, the only for a long time thing, Eric Helcom. As such, he is courted by the MJ12 and Trident, though he didn't want either of them, and eventually managed to develop his own. MJ12 and Trident developed their own methods of creating orichalcum. Trident Captain, nicknamed the Boomerang because he always returns from his mission. He wears a Trident-made machine suit. These emphasise power over agility. But his suit is a prototype and it's made out of orichalcum. I think it's just a colonel. Fat Man and Little Boy. Fearsome members of the United States government's machiners platoon. Okay, well these blokes were in the sort of Noah's Ark stuff and the what unit, what organisation do you give them? They wear prototype orichalcum armoured suits made by Trident. Still no match for you and Gene. In the movie, Fat Man is known as Colonel Fat Man. Yeah, that's it. And in his recast as his old commander from Project Cosmos. Yeah. So, in the original books, Fat Man wasn't the commanding officer of the used unit, but in the animation he was. Tia Flat, I think she might be the psychic. No, we've got a magic user. Mysterious background described by you as a badass witch. She can manipulate the time continuum and summon spirit beasts. Such ancient sorcery belies her true age. She must be at least 100 years old, since she's actually, well, that would be a spoiler, wouldn't it? Yeah. This is your mystery lady, and she's possibly, even older than that. She's probably an Atlantean, or some other lost mythical race of the aliens or whatnot. Scarlet Witch, sort of thing. Now, this might be the bloke I'm trying to figure out, and I think it is. Jean, Jacques, yeah, he's French. Yeah, I can't do that. So, the French-born Jean is a lycanthrope. Whenever he sees his own blood, he transforms into a werewolf, whose bloodlust isn't sated until he's killed everyone in sight. Jean finally learns to control his inner demon nature in the mountain pyramid. Yeah. His weapon is the French Spaz 12 combat shotgun, complete with a single-handed firing brace and pump. Okay, werewolf with a gun. Werewolf with a gun. He struck me as quite fun in the American version too. Let's all bounce around. Galaxy Express, good. Check it out. Strange for people. Train in space with no rails. Celestial Legend. I really must admit, I've got no idea about Celestial Legend. And I'd probably have to hunt up. I think half of these are, again, a lot of this stuff was more relevant in the 80s, I suppose, but some of it's drifted over. Blue Submarine number 6, another one I think you should check out. It's actually quite good. Where we have, if I remember, genetic engineering and, what is it? Yeah, well, it's in English, you can find it. Agent Iker, I don't know. Dragon Ball, I can bang my head against the wall. I do know that. And, unfortunately, again, a Dragon Ball fan, there's just so much of it, and a lot of it is, in fact, very repetitious. But, yeah, it's worth a watch. Ninja Girl, not sure. Vampire Hunter D is a goodie. I must admit, again, I'm a prejudiced. I lean towards the horror. So Vampire Hunter D, surprise, surprise on the reason for calling it D. Anything, a subtle hint, a subtle or unsubtle hint that usually anything with D, Fred D or something like that is a Dracula reference. Or in this case, a Dampede reference. Right. Pet Shop of Horrors, not a bad one. Magical Pets, Curses. What have I got here? Plot twists reminiscent of the television show Friday the 13th series. Yeah, Friday the 13th series for anybody who didn't know of it. Was a antique shop that had supernaturally based material, and then the previous owner died, and the first thing these people did was sell off all of this stuff, and then they found, golly gosh, it's the stuff we sold off is cursed. So the series was basically us looking at the register, finding out what was sold off, and trying to get it back. Cool. Enjoyable.